Greetings and welcome to Rice Crypto. I'm Rice, and today we're going to be discussing Joe Biden and his threat to veto this bill if passed, and it passed both House and Senate. Well, this past Friday, May the 31st, Biden did just that. We're going to be talking about that on today's show. If you like videos like these, be sure to smash that like button. Real quick, before we begin, I want to encourage you, if you are not already subscribed to the channel, make sure you are subscribed. And if you are subscribed, make sure you are still subscribed. YouTube, unfortunately, has been unsubscribing a large amount of people over the past few months. So make sure you are still subscribed. And if you're not subscribed, what are you waiting for? Also, make sure you are checking out my sponsor, Presearch. Presearch is a decentralized private search engine with AI that rewards. And the bill that I'm talking about on today's show is HJ Resolution 109, which would overturn the SEC's Staff Accounting Bulletin 121, otherwise known as SAB 121. The overturning of this bill would actually allow regulated financial institutions such as banks to custody Bitcoin and other cryptos without the constraints that the Staff Accounting Bulletin 121 currently has. Again, it was passed by both House and Senate. We'll get into that. But before it even passed through the House, Joseph Biden put out a tweet, and everything I'm going to be talking about on today's show, as always, will be linked down below in the video description. This came out on May the 8th, I believe. Yes, May the 8th, 2024, earlier in last month. And it states right here, just in, U.S. President Joseph Biden's administration says Biden would veto legislation that would allow highly regulated financial firms to custody Bitcoin and crypto. This comes from the Executive Office of the President. You're more than welcome to read it. I have covered it in previous videos, and I will have that linked down below in the video description. So this comes from the block, and it was reported on May 31st. Biden vetoes bill overturning SAB 121, says standard necessary for crypto innovation. One of the things that I do want to say is that a lot of people are saying that this was the first crypto bill to pass Biden's desk and he vetoed it. Now, I don't necessarily agree that it is specifically a crypto bill. This is more of a bill that deals with banks and regulations custodying crypto. So it's a combination of the two. So I really wouldn't put this forth as the very first crypto bill. FIT21, which we'll talk about here in just a moment, looks to be the first crypto bill that is going to be passing Joseph Biden's desk. And we'll talk about that in just a moment. But to continue on with the SAB 121, as we scroll down, I highlighted something from the article. The House previously voted 228 to 182 to pass the measure, with mostly Republicans, though 21 Democrats did sign on. A week later, the Senate voted 60 to 38, with several Democrats, including Senate Majority Leader, I guess that was a mistake having that twice, Chuck Schumer, voting in favor of the measure. Overturning a veto requires a 2/3 majority from both houses of Congress. So this came in late last Friday, May the 31st, a message to the House of Representatives on the president's veto of HJ Resolution 109. To the House of Representatives, I am returning herewith, without my approval, HJ Resolution 109, a resolution that would disapprove of the SEC Staff Accounting Bulletin number 121, SAB 121, which reflects considered technical SEC staff views regarding the accounting obligations of certain firms that safeguard crypto assets. By virtue of invoking the Congressional Review Act, this Republican-led resolution would inappropriately constrain the SEC's ability to set forth appropriate guardrails and address future issues. This reversal of the considered judgment of SEC staff in this way risks undercutting the SEC's broader authorities regarding accounting practices. My administration will not support measures that jeopardize the well-being of consumers and investors. Appropriate guardrails that protect consumers and investors are necessary to harness the potential benefits and opportunities of crypto asset innovation. My administration is eager to work with the Congress to ensure a comprehensive and balanced regulatory framework for digital assets, building on existing authorities which will promote the responsible development of digital assets and payment innovation to help reinforce United States leadership in the global financial system. Therefore, I am vetoing this resolution. Now, the main thing that this was the problem that people had, the politicians, of why they were trying to overturn the Staff Accounting Bulletin 121, SAB 121, is because it technically would allow banks to custody the cryptocurrency. I want to see if it's actually in the article that I was sharing just a moment ago, but there's certain constraints that are going to be listed with that. And the idea is, and without me trying to find it, I'm just going to explain it and you guys can read this article in its entirety. But the idea is that it would allow banks to custody Bitcoin and cryptocurrency for customers like yourself, myself, if we wanted to have somebody else custody our crypto. But in addition, they would have to list it as a liability and an asset and also have equivalent dollar amount of what those assets are worth. So if it's $100,000 worth of cryptocurrency, they've got to have safeguards for the encryption for the private key so that they can safeguard that. In addition, they've got to have it listed as an asset and a liability and have 100% backing of the cryptocurrency in dollar amount in reserve. Whereas right now, with fiat, none of the banks in the United States have any sort of reserve requirement. The reserve requirement was lifted, I believe, in 2020. It used to be a 10% reserve requirement, which meant banks were required to have at least 10% of their depositors' money on hand. At this point, the banks are not required to have any of that money on hand, which is very interesting. And they're making it very difficult for firms, banks to custody crypto under the SEC Staff Accounting Bulletin 121, which again, both the House and Senate wanted to overturn to allow banks to custody cryptocurrency like they would any other assets or commodities, which don't have the same constraints. So let me know what you think about that. Do you think that this is specifically a crypto bill? Is this a bank bill? Is this good for crypto? Is this bad for crypto? Is this one step away or another step forward towards trying to ban self-custody? Because that is an issue that a lot of people in the cryptocurrency community are definitely concerned with. It's something that Donald Trump has raised his concern with and said that under him as being president, he would make sure that we have that right to self-custody. Now, to continue on with the screen share, let me go ahead and pull up the information here for FIT21. And I talked about this in a previous video, and this will be linked down below. It's the same video I talked about the SAB 121 because there was a lot of legislation that was happening within the ecosystem. So here we are at, let me pull this up on my screen, at Crypto Rank, and this was reported on May 22nd. And it says U.S. President Joe Biden will not veto the FIT21 crypto bill if passed. And he said that after he said he would veto the SAB 121. So you had the SAB 121, which he said he would veto, and he did. And then we have FIT21, which he says he will not veto. And I don't know if that's because his administration has come in saying, you know, Donald Trump is taking a very pro stance on cryptocurrency, and we need to reconsider the way that we are treating this technology. So he promises not to veto. And what is the importance of the FIT21 crypto bill if passed? And again, this is linked down below so you can read it in its entirety. And you can also check out the other video that I did in regards to this subject. So the FIT21 Act and what it means for digital assets. And I have a portion here that I highlighted. This is the key provisions of the FIT21 Act. It seeks to delineate the regulatory responsibilities of the Security Exchange Commission, the SEC, and the Commodity Futures Trading Commission, the CFTC. The act aims to clarify the jurisdictional boundaries between these two regulatory bodies, which has been a major source of confusion. The SEC will oversee digital assets classified as securities, which is technically how it's always supposed to be, while the CFTC will regulate commodities and derivatives. Additionally, the legislation includes robust consumer protection measures designed to prevent fraud and market manipulation. It mandates comprehensive disclosure requirements for digital asset issuers and establishes clear guidelines for market participants. So in layman's terms, it basically separates the responsibilities between what the SEC and what the CFTC can do in regards to cryptocurrencies once said cryptocurrency is labeled as either a security or a commodity in these particular aspects. So I think that could be very good for cryptocurrency, but it really depends because the CFTC has not exactly been 100% crypto friendly either. And we just got to look at this as which government agency is going to be in charge of what type of cryptocurrencies. And that's just, again, just an agency making sure that they're looking out for the best interests of themselves and the government, because the SEC has proven that they are not for the people as they are supposed to be for the people. They are supposed to be protecting the interest of the people against fraud, and they're doing the exact opposite. And there's numerous things that they have done that I've discussed over the years, other content creators have discussed. We're not going to get in that on today's video. I'm going to try to keep this short and sweet. I'm going to be trying to do more shorter videos like this. So if you do like short videos like this, let me know in the comment section below. Comment, like, share, make sure you're subscribed. I do appreciate you tuning in for today's video. Let me know your thoughts of what you think about Joe Biden vetoing the SAB 121. Let me know your thoughts about Donald Trump being pro-crypto and the fact that so far it seems like this is becoming a bipartisan issue, that both Republicans and Democrats are working together for the betterment, for the future of cryptocurrency and blockchain technologies here in the United States. Again, thank you for tuning in. I appreciate time is our most valuable asset, so thank you for giving me yours. I encourage you, as always, to be a blessing to others. Treat people how you want to be treated. Be the glitch that you want to see in this matrix. Be the change that you want to see in the world. Question everything, know yourself, and until next time, practice change.